Do not count these Bruins out. They had a fire sale last week, and now they just can't lose. Cannot lose.
Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers with the call right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. But, my God, Judd had to change his pants after that one last night on the TV side. I bet they bring 2 pairs of pants.
I think he blew out the speakers on my TV.
The pledge pin on your uniform. Woo!
The Bruins were down 2-0 last night to the Panthers, the defending champions, in the third period at the Garden. 3 unanswered goals over a stretch that was just under 8 minutes. And it was electric at the Garden. It was maybe the most inspired period of hockey we've seen from this team the entire year.
It's amazing when you skate with a little bit of purpose, huh? A little kick in the ass. I mean, I believe in getting the initial bump off altering moves, whether it's a coach who gets fired, whether it's a player that gets dealt, whether it's your team captain that gets dealt, maybe it's your best friend. And Marchand had to go through that crap this year with him and Pasta and all that. The team responded in 2 games. It's 2 games. It's 2 games, but those are 2 pretty freaking good games for a team that looks like there was a malaise. Just a malaise that's taken over the whole club.
Well, there was a malaise. They had dropped 8 of 10. Then the fire sale happens. The Bruins right now are tied for 5th place in the Atlantic Division.
Is there any regret? I mean,
they are tied with the Canadiens.
Uh-huh.
They are 2 points behind the Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
They have 70 points. The Bruins are at 68. They are 2 points out of a wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. They are not out of this thing. There is a chance they find their way into the playoffs. And so
it's just the games in hand that they have.
Yeah.
It's just like,
to your question about regret?
Yeah.
Hell no.
No, because
why would there be regret? In fact, I would suggest to you that the trade deadline is what has sparked the remaining pieces on this roster.
McCollum?
This is a dead cat bounce right now that you're getting these last 2 games. So I'm sorry.
Thanks a lot.
It is.
Thank you, McCone. Because when you say things like that, right, like the Pats are going to win 7, 9,
things.
however many games, you end up being so wrong so often that I love it. I think thank you for the reverse jinx on the Bruins.
All right, cup run back on. Yeah.
Playoffs back on. McCone thinks they're dead, and it was the dead cat bounce.
Cat. How many bounces does a dead cat bounce?
It's usually one. Usually it's only a 1. It's 1.
6 inches and then 3. Then you're on the floor. What Marchand said, his first press conference here before he left, that when he got choked up, and if we were a playoff team, we'd be having a whole different talk here. We'd be talking about something different. So they were resigned just to not being a playoff team.
Yeah, we played the Marchand audio
that's your
10
captain,
days ago.
That's your captain saying you're not a playoff team.
Well, how about the comments from last night? Didn't they seem to have a different tone to them than the way Brad Marchand was speaking?
Different guys have to speak
a
up
week
now.
plus ago.
You have no captain. You have different sets of leadership. Who's going to respond? Who's going to lead the room?
Mason Lohrei after the game last night saying, we're never going to give up. We know where we're at, and we're just going to keep fighting. Well, that's beautiful. Where was that a week and a half ago?
Pasta said that after the last game. That's exactly what Pasta said. We're just going to keep fighting with what we have.
Coyle gone. Frederick gone. Marchand gone. Carlo. Bye. They start trading pieces off. Carlo gone.
Yeah.
And then they start playing. Now, listen, I'm not going to tell you they were the best team or the better team out there last night. Let's not get crazy with it. They had a great third period. They woke up and played a great period of hockey and won the game, and it was a ton of fun. Man, was that fun. That was the most enjoyable Bruins hockey you've watched in months at a minimum. How fun was that? If you were in the building, lucky you. Great ticket last night.
Yeah.
You probably went there expecting to see a video tribute. You got something better.
Yeah.
You got something better, which was that third period in your team, electrifying the building. The place, you heard it on Nesson postgame. Everybody on that desk told you that it was the loudest the building had been all year. That it was the most fan engagement they've seen all season. I don't know how you don't draw a line from the trade deadline happening removing the players you removed, and now the way that they are playing. Now, that could be for a variety of reasons. It could be simply, oh, wow, nobody believes in us and they think we're terrible. Let's prove them wrong. Could be that simple. It could be that there was some uncomfortable, weird thing going on with the team's captain.
Huh. What do you think?
And it could be that the trade deadline was hanging over them, that the uncertainty about his own future was impacting the way he was going about his business. It was a weird year for Marchand. The weird start with Swayman. Marchand seemed to be chirping Swayman a little bit at the beginning of the season. He was not happy about how that contract thing was playing out. Maybe there was some jealousy there, considering Marchand is making in real dollars, I think like less than $1 million in cash this year. And he's watching Jeremy Swayman, who's had one good year, cash in and make that big money on that contract and not show up to camp. Right? That may have annoyed Brad Marchand about coming into this year, knowing that he's only got, a few years left in his career.
Outwardly,
that was pissing him off.
Outwardly, you say the right things. I'm sure Marchand has said the right things over the course of the year.
But he let it leak. He let it leak a little bit that he wasn't happy with it.
Yes, because it does bug you as a person. It does bug you as a player. You have to stand in front of a mic and say the right things. Don't tell me that doesn't create turmoil inside. It does. You live that as an athlete.
Was there an issue with Pastrnak? Was there not an issue with Pastrnak? Yes, there was the very outward declaration that they were the best of friends. I don't know. It was a weird year. It was. And now all the weird, awkward stuff that may have been happening, well, it's not there anymore because he was in the locker room of the other team last night at the Garden. I don't know. Maybe they're just playing free and easy, right? Sort of that cloud, that dark cloud has been lifted over this team. They don't have the deadline to worry about anymore. They know what their group is for now until the end of the year. Marchand had issues with the coach. They fired the coach. They got a coach who's basically coaching with nothing to lose, right? I mean, he's probably half expecting to lose his job at the end of this thing now. Yeah. So, I don't know. You mix all that together and you get the result you got last night.
My Bruins guy, who has been sort of right on two things that I've said this year.
My Bruins guy. Wow.
Just responded with, this team is better this way. This team will be better this way.
What else does Bruins guy say? Does he want a Bruins guy? Add a little more. Are they playing free and easy? Are they in a good sense?
He said the media workroom food was not great tonight.
Is there a good mental space?
Nope, not that guy. Not that guy you're thinking of. But I wonder who the captain, who the leader is now. I'd like to know that in the room. Like, who's the leader in the skates? Who's the leader at night?
Who's the Bruins guy?
Who's the leader in between periods?
Ask Bruins guy.
Yeah.
Who's the leader now?
Does he have anything on Diggs, by the way?
There's some stuff on Cats, though. When's the next home game? Saturday night, right? Yeah. Bring Cats. Hey. Fred could take his cat.
Bruins, clip McCone saying that it's nothing more than a dead cat bounce and put that in behind the B. I know you guys love taking clips.
In the playoff commercial.
Put that in. I was going to say, put that in the playoff commercial.
I didn't refer to it as a cat bounce. Okay, just make sure here.
No, McCone did. We know.
I did.
Okay, McCone said that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's all.
They're better like this. That's how it was worded.
They're better like this.
They're better like this. Well, the product was certainly better last night.
That means there was an issue. Like, and maybe it was hanging over his head.
Was that Zadorov contract worth it just for him watching him pummel Sam Bennett last night? Phenomenal.
What happened to Bennett? Oh, Jesus. Hey, they didn't have Kachuk. He's got that illness. He won't be back. I mean, injury, but he won't be back until playoffs. So they were down some guys, but still, you beat their ass. It's a hell of a comeback. Good for the building. Fans have been through a lot this year. It's like Patriots fans. You're waiting for something. Bruins fans, you're waiting for something this year. And you got it. And you responded. At Ottawa tomorrow. See if they can put a couple of these together.
I'm going to enjoy it while it's happening.
Yeah.
That's
why not?
For sure.
Why not? The way this thing's heading, you're thinking it's going to be a complete tune-out. Maybe not. Maybe not.
New faces, new blood, a new group, no captain. It's kind of nice, isn't it? It's kind of nice.
It's nice.
It is kind of nice. I don't know if you heard what Pastrnak said about, when asked about the sea. He's like, I haven't given it any thought.
Yeah. Why should they?
Just going to keep being me. Just going to keep playing.
Do I have to wear socks now?
Do you want the Bruins to make the playoffs? Do you want them in that mix? I do.
Yes, absolutely.
Wouldn't it be a great story?
It helps Sweeney out. Tell you that.
I was going to say, are there people that don't want it, though? Because
yes,
I have,
definitely.
I have
If you
zero
want front
faith.
office change, you root for them.
Exactly. I have zero faith in their ability to get out of that first round. So
what?
I'm not expecting that, but being in and even being swept in 4 games
like
to
11
me
straight years,
is
like-
better than not making it in.
Yes.
But I know that there are probably at least a few people that are thinking, wait, that's going to make Sweeney somehow look good, and I don't want that because so many people have want him gone. That's why they've been chanting "Fire Sweeney" inside TD Garden this season.
Wouldn't that be funny, though?
So I think it's a legitimate question
were
for the
last
fan
night.
base.
Wouldn't it be funny?
Were they again last night?
According to Ty Anderson.
All right,
yeah.
so they were
I'm sure.
chanting again.
Yeah, it was Marchand night.
The
Of
fans
course it
in the
was.
building were chanting "Fire Sweeney" last night. So I'm asking you, do you want them in the playoffs or not?
That's a good
Because
question.
I'm sure there are people conflicted on what they want. So tell us, 617-779-0985. And more on Brad Marchand, who spoke to the media before the game last night and was asked, of course, that question about would you come back to Boston in the offseason? You're going to be a free agent. You could always make a return. Are you interested in that? Is the door still open for that reunion?
His emotion that he has shown over the last couple days feels like it might be more family related, based on the comment from the wife, the post. Like they may be more jaded by it than him because he gives you the reality of it. Hey, I'm at the rink every day. I'm skating regardless of where I'm at. They got to deal with it. I mean, he's at a point now when you're at a place over 15 years. I mean, you establish yourself in that city, in that region. You have friends. You have family. You have a community. You're ingrained into it. Now you're just automatically snatched. You think it's going to be there forever. Like you're sitting there, you're thinking, you're talking extension. So what he said there was, tenure is the most important to me. So he's talking term. Term is years, right?
Yes. They reportedly gave him 3 years
3
in offer. They met him. on term.
What more is he looking
So
for than that?
I'm not. But if you listen to it closely, because I thought the same thing.
Okay.
I think what he's referring to is that term was the most important thing, and that for him to even rekindle that conversation, the offer would still need to be the same amount of time.
Oh,
I don't think
they pulled off the table.
I do
It's-
not believe he was insinuating that the Bruins had shorted him on term. I don't think that's what he was saying. So I think
Right,
if you listen to
because
it
he
again
said-
carefully,
yeah.
he's saying when I hit free agency, term will again be the thing that's important to me, and that would still have to be part of the equation.
It's called stability, right? You're in a place for a certain amount of time. It's a guaranteed contract, and you're there. Like, so I'm trying to think. Okay, so if he would talk to them, term would be the most. Then the other things fall, meaning cost and price.
Well, no, I
Things
think
that
they
are-
go hand in hand. I do. I think when he's saying term, he's saying the guaranteed dollars, and it's over 3 years. And so they were at 6+, and he wanted to be 7+, and they were $1 million+ apart, and they couldn't bridge that gap because the Bruins felt like they had been doing him a solid, that they were doing right by him, that they were being sentimental and clinging.
He
to
got a
the
sentimental contract.
last piece of the 2011 team,
Sure.
and he took that and assumed that that was a low offer because that's where teams usually start, and figured he could get more, and he found out pretty quickly that he couldn't.
Feels like he was given the opportunity to be a Bruin for life, and he rejected it.
This feels like a messy breakup now,
Yeah, I agree.
and I don't believe there's any hope for them to get back together.
I'm with you. You pull that offer. It's not like, hey, okay, go win a cup with them, and come back to us in the summer, and oh yeah, that 3 years still on the table there. B money, yeah, sign it up. No. Especially to see how this team would play post departure. Say they go on a little bit of a run. What if Swayman gets hot? What if certain other guys find a way to score?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you got a team and you got you're playing. You know how hot teams play. You play well. And you start stringing them together. I think that shuts the door even more.
Their response, if it is not the dead cat bounce that Tim McCone has
Tim's
declared
dead cat.
today.
Yes.
He has declared there's nothing more than the dead cat bounce for the
Sick.
Bruins.
I think the Bruins season is over. I think they're done.
This is a dead cat bounce right now.
Beautiful. Excellent. Put it right into the playoff commercial. for the Bruins once they make it and the tickets go on sale. They can put McCone in at this.
Cat gets stiff. And he
You
can't
mentioned
move.
Swayman. You mentioned Swayman. Swayman saying last night the main message is that we're battling for each other in the room. And then I read this comment, and I know it's a throwaway line that guys always use in hockey, but this one just felt pointed to me, knowing that Marchand was irritated, I think, in my opinion, by Swayman at the start of the year. That's all we care about, the guys in this room. And just couldn't be more proud of the guys, the way that their effort is, the way that we are competing as a team and being cohesive, and we're obviously getting results. So that's something we can build on. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah, that's a built-in shot there. That we're playing better with the other guy removed.
Yes, that's how it felt to me.
Totally.
And I'm like, that's him talking about, the guys who are in this room, not the guys who are no longer in this room.
Sellouts.
Right? And we're cohesive, and everybody's feeling good.
Bitching about me
And we're going to build on it, right? I mean, just talking about all the things that you felt they weren't doing over the course of the season. It does. It feels like there was something there to that.
That was the first fun game to watch in a while.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like, you felt the energy. You felt the energy about being there. Yeah. Yep.
Judd was going to make sure you felt that energy.
Jesus, Judd. You think he slept? Wait, it's been a long year, man.
You could tell.
It's been a long year.
On both broadcasts. It had been a long year. It had been a long month.
You listen to Sosi on the touchdown pass to Ramondre Stevens down in Tennessee just to tie it, just to send it to overtime. We were hugging in a booth. Like, you get excited about moments like that when you don't see them.